Good morning, Dan here. This little video I'm going to make here this morning is to clear up a few things. I have been making a lot of mistakes. Number one is, I'm sorry that I squint a lot while I'm working. I've been watching the videos and I do a lot of squinting when I go to do something. I don't know why I do that, and I thought it kind of bothered me, so I'm going to apologize for that one. A few other things too I'd like to clear up. Yesterday I posted a video on making my first strong back stand, which is over here. It ended up, I didn't take into consideration the elevated floor in my Dory, and a few measurements here that I'm getting wrong, and anybody knows what I'm doing is probably wondering why I'm doing this, and I'm not paying attention. I don't know if it's because I'm nervous or not, but I'm here to clear this up, okay? So, first of all, the strong back consists of, in this case, 5 frames. 5 stands, if you will. And it shows how to put these brackets in that holds the strong back blocks in place that goes the length of the boat. Now, I've been calling these 2x4s. Number one, they're not 2x4s. They're 2x8s. That's what goes along the strong back to support the structure. 2x8. I've been calling it a 2x4. I'm really going to have to start paying more attention here because I probably look like a dummy. Why did I change the design of this strong back according to the plans on Jeff Spira's plans? As I may have mentioned in my videos, my knees have been replaced, so I have to stand a certain way, support myself a certain way. My knees don't hurt me anymore, but even though you get your knees replaced, there's other things you got to look out for, okay? And especially undue stress on your joints. So, his design, if I understand how it's made here, it's basically one piece of 2x8 running throughout the whole length of the boat, and it's supported by 2x4 structure going straight up with this type of clamp on it. This kind of clamp on it holding actually triangles in place according to his drawing. I obviously don't have the means to reproduce this exactly the way he has it on the plans. Number one, because the wood's more expensive. If I use a 2x4 instead of a 2x8, which is structure is required, they're more money. And yeah, I know I sound as cheap as heck, but that's reality. I just don't have all that money to throw out or available to me to build the structures out of 2x8. Now, my plan here, or my excuse, or my reasoning is if I use 2x4s and possibly make an extra support, since I'm only going with a 2x4 instead of a 2x8, I can reuse those pieces, possibly on another build that will definitely be smaller than this one. Yeah, I've been making a lot of mistakes here. Unfortunately, my space is small. I keep on mentioning that. Anybody that's actually building and they say they have no room, I'm gonna sort of say, yeah, listen, if you really want to build something, you'll make it work. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get a head start on the frames I've built. They're all done, all 15, thank God. I built them all in the house. I keep on moving things around down here to make space. And you know, that's okay. It's okay because I really want to do this, you know. I want to be successful, and I'm trying to build it as due diligence into the plans. It's not always easy. It's not always easy. No. It's a lot of work. I didn't realize, 30 feet to me doesn't sound like a much. All my projects are usually larger. Why? I don't know. I just like that. I build puzzles 4 by 8, 4 by 5 feet, 5.5 feet puzzle. Airplanes. I build large model airplanes. I don't know. Maybe I like spending more time on them because I know the small planes. I can go through them pretty quick. And yeah, whatever the reasoning may be. So I was just trying to clear up. I'm making a lot of mistakes. I'm trying to balance videotaping and building at the same time, and I'm having a lot of trouble. Even the way I speak doesn't sound normal in some of my videos. It's because I'm thinking, and then I say stuff, and then after I look at the video, it's taken so long to do the video in the first place, and I can't really edit it because I don't know nothing about editing video, and I'm using my iPhone to videotape this. But I did download a editing file, but I've got to learn how to use it. I might even use this particular video to practice on trying to. I understand you can delete cutscenes out. You can put music in. You've heard videos. You've been watching all the videos. What I'm doing is very crude compared to what some people do. So some people either are very, very talented in editing, or they have somebody they know that is talented in editing, and that's great. That's fantastic. But I'm not there yet. I am barely getting out a video that actually shows the procedure in assembling it. Now, I don't know if I'm going too far. I've watched guys on videos assemble stuff. I've seen carpenters build boats, and their cuts are so precise. It scares me. Yeah, I know. And that's not me. I just don't have the equipment and the space to do that kind of work in. But that's okay. That's okay. You just gotta push. You gotta push. You gotta keep. You gotta look at the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess. Call it what you like. So what I am building is a 30-foot long dory by 8-foot wide. The plans come from Jeff Spira International. He designs some nice plans here. And I've seen people build his boats, and some of them come out so nice, you wouldn't believe that they actually build it at home. Yeah. The one I'm building is called the Key West. It's fairly new out. I think it's about a 4-year-old design. Last time I spoke to Jeff, which was not very long ago, he was coming out with a 43-footer, I think, to put in between his 55 and his 30-footer. Same boat, just a little larger. The displacement on these flat-bottom boats is pretty crazy. A very sturdy boat. I've got 2 German Shepherds, and definitely will be taking them boating with me. And my big boy is a little over 100 pounds. I think he's 110. And my female's lighter. I think she's 74, less one leg. Yeah. And the room and the stability of this particular boat caught my attention. So as crude as my videos are, I think I'm going to stop apologizing for every little mistake I make. This video here is to clear this up. So if I happen to give you some shoulder or my back, which I tend to do once in a blue moon, and what they call, I guess, rough cut video of just taping it and posting it, no editing, that's the way I'll be doing it until I educate myself with editing. Now, I've got 21 subscribers, I believe, so far, And I know it takes time, and of course the item of interest has to spark up the curiosity enough to want to subscribe, I guess, and like. I just want to let you all know that who have subscribed. Thank you very much. It helps. It helps me believe I should continue doing those videos. Looking back on them, I was looking at them last night, and I almost felt like not videotaping the build anymore because of the crude material that I'm putting out. Yeah. But the way I'm looking at it is, a worst scenario. You don't have a garage. You don't got all the right tools. And God knows I need clamps. I have no clamps. I'll tell you what I'm putting my stuff together with. 2 of these. I think these are about 10 years old. They still work, but I got 2 of these. And I also have C-clamp vice grips. My last video, they came in handy because I put my 2 clamps down, my quick grip clamps. I put them down on the table right in front of me, and I had the plan sheet and move it, and I covered up my clamps. I couldn't find them, so you can see me in the video running around looking for my clamps. Oh my God! So I ran over and got my vice grip, and I clamped these 2 pieces of 3/4 inch on here with it, and then I put the screws anyway. So the job got done. Excuse me. And not so pretty. But if you're looking at these videos and you're sitting there going, oh my God, this is pretty crude, that's great. I'm actually going to look at it a different way. 99% of the videos I watch, and no disrespect to anybody else that's producing a real nice video, because they are. I don't see guys dropping tools, like literally sitting there watching them drop tools. I don't see too many people running around looking for stuff because they've misplaced it. My God, I had my chop saw fall off the rolling utility shelving I had. It should have not even been on there. It was totally unsafe, and I won't be doing that again. Yeah, so you're probably seeing me do everything everybody else is not doing, or editing out mistakes. So yeah, so that's the way I'm going to look at this from now on. Yeah, this is what could happen. Let's see this. This is what could possibly happen when you're building. All the things you don't see, you're going to see them on this video, my videos. Can't find a tool, I take the time to look for it, you're going to see it. Something falls on the floor, I'll let you know if anybody gets hurt or something gets broken, but you're going to see it. Yep. So I think letting you all know this right now is just going to make me feel a little bit better about my bloopers while I'm videotaping this stuff. Because I'm sure there's people out there that probably think they shouldn't, because I dabbled in trains a bit. I've got a ton of HO stuff coming out of my whistle, and I obviously don't have the room to set it up. I've tried several times. I've actually put a track around this room with 48 by 2 inch framed up tables. I went around this whole room, leveled the track, leveled the tables up. The only place I didn't have a table is at the exit door here. So they'd have to loop around right about here and then head back around the room and back. That was a N gauge. That kind of came to a halt. I dismantled that. I put it all away, and I gave it a shot. Then I started watching videos on people that have train set layups. Well, amazingly enough, this fella had a layout that couldn't have been more than 3 feet by 2 feet. And he built a tunnel facing the wall deep enough that the train can go in and disappear, loop around and come out. So it looked like it was going somewhere. And a bunch of tracks just going back and forth in front of him, and that was his display. That's where he ran his trains, right there in front of him. They didn't go around the room, they didn't go up a hill, they're right in front of him. And I thought to myself, my God, there's nothing there. And he was literally keeping himself amused right there in front of a table with a half a dozen sessions of track, couple of curves, and he was running his train in and out right in front of him. And that was, he mentioned the fact he had no room, but he still wanted to run his train. So he did it. So I hope I'm going to at least try to inspire anyone that thinks that they don't have enough room to do a build. You do. You really do. But you got to go through a little hell to get it done. I got more stuff in this room than I should have, and I have nowhere to put it. Nowhere. I have another room on the other side. It is full. I can't put it. It would be unsafe to put any more stuff in there. So what I'm doing in here when I walk in here is I kick a few things out the door. I move a few things in the area I'm about to work in. And I balance stuff on my little table. I use the arms on the chair to balance stuff. Matter of fact, this support yesterday, I was balancing it on the arms of the chair I'm sitting in right now. And the back of it was on top of my little portable rolly thing over there, utility. And that's what I was working on. And I picked up the unit, and I looked at it. It was a little crooked, so I took a couple screws out, flattened it out, put the screws back in, and it was straight. I mean, that's the only indication I had with that. And it came out. So what I did this morning is I came out and I checked it out, and I went over the plans until I realized that my strong back consists of 2x8. The main strong back going down the middle of the 2x8, and all the legs are made out of 2x8 lumber. A lot of support there. A lot of support. And I went to price them out, and I couldn't justify going with a 2x8 because I wouldn't be able to use that lumber unless I cut it down to the size I would need after to build a smaller project with it. So I'm going with a 2x4. They asked for 5 structures here. I'm going to go with 6, and then it tapers a bit at the front to help support the bow, I guess it's called. I still got to get my name straight in my head. It's not the bow. It's the stem. Tapers at the front. The last 4 frames taper to nothing. It's the stem, but I can use the structure which I'm making. I think it's 38 inches wide throughout the whole thing till I get to the end, and I think it'll work. I think it'll work. The stem, the transom. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's hidden behind the wall right there. That's my transom back there. I made another minor mistake. I got a little bored down here in the basement one afternoon when I was coming down. Prepping pieces for my next aircraft build. And I had material left over. The 3/4 inch ply maple, really nice sheet of material. I got it for such a good price. I didn't complain. Like the new stuff now, your standard plywood with the price hikes is $57 a sheet. I got this maple for $45 weeks before. So it doesn't bother me anymore. So the new stuff I'm buying is $57 a sheet Canadian before taxes. Just in case you're interested. So I went ahead and I sheeted that. It's glued and sheeted. It's like finished, ready to go, slap on the back of the structure. And it weighs a ton. Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to pay to find some friends to come and help lift that up when it comes time to put it on the structure. So I took the weight of that transom which is probably pretty near 3/4 of a sheet of 3/4 inch birch. And it's got to weigh, I don't know what it weighs. It's got to weigh 80 pounds. It's heavy. I won't do that again. So those of you that see, like, why is he doing covering that frame before he puts it together? These are mistakes I'm making. I was a little bored. I didn't take into consideration the weight. I didn't take into consideration what it would take to lift it into place. So I've really produced a lot of extra work for myself, but I'm accepting that. I'm trying to get smarter here. So I don't know if this is helping anybody, if this video is helping anybody. I'm sure some people are sitting back probably thinking, what the heck is this guy doing? So I just thought I'd clear this up with this little video. We'll just call it a short story. But if you're wondering if you can or cannot build in a small space, I built that thing back there down here too. I can hardly set it up. I set it up every couple of months to knock the dirt off it, the dust, and make sure it's still intact. It's about 5 years old. It hasn't seen the air yet. Working on it. So, yeah. So I've got a Ridge sanding machine here, orbital. It's got the round tubes that goes up and down. What do you call that? My God. Actually, it doesn't have a name on it. It just says Ridge on it. Spindle sander, maybe? I've got a drill press, a jigsaw, chop saw. That's it. A couple of clamps. I think I'm going to leave this video just the way it is. And once again, if you don't think you can, maybe you can. And don't be afraid. I was paranoid in my first couple of videos I did. I'm still trying to remember to do things right when I talk about stuff. But you know what? It's what it is. It's what it is. I'm no genius down here. I'm just trying to build a boat. And I'm really inspired on some of the videos that I watch that people have built Jeff's boats, and they finished them. Some very simple, and some very exotic. I mean, nice woods, really talented finishes. It looks really nice. So what I've done here is I've taken a little bit of what they've done, and I'm going to try to implement this on this build. I'm going to build a cubby or a cabin on this, but it will not be done right away. It will be done later, because I think I have my hands full as it is, just building the boat itself. Okay, so I'm looking at a possible 2 seasons here. Yeah. Why am I doing this for? Why not? Everybody wants to build a boat. I mean, I have motorcycles. Not everybody rides a bike, but hey, you can do it. Yeah. My first video I posted explains why in detail. So I'm not going to go too deep into it. I would like to say, though, after buying this sheet of 3/4 inch ply birch, beautiful on both sides, or do they call it finished on both sides? This birch sheet, they tell me, is the next step before you'd go and buy marine ply. I have found no flaws cutting this sheet into this sheet. There are no voids in this sheet at all. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's good quality material, but it isn't marine ply. Now, the marine ply is a lot more expensive, and it has its place. I understand why, the glues they use, the procedure, that's fine. It has its place. But starting to build this dory, and it is designed to be built with construction grade material, so standard plywood. Standard plywood is pretty rough. I wish I had a piece of it here to show you what it looks like. The standard piece of plywood, if you run your hand across it, is definitely a lot rougher in finish than this perfect stuff back here. Now, the second you're going to turn around and coat the outside with fiberglass, you don't need marine plywood, in my opinion, because you're sealing the wood with fiberglass, with epoxy. Epoxy resin over fiberglass. So the exterior is protected by the fiberglass, the epoxy, which is top-end stuff. Yeah, it's expensive, but that's the way it's done. Now the inside, what a lot of people do, some people glass the inside, some people just paint on a couple of layers of epoxy to seal the inside up, and then they paint over it. So if you want to use a number 1 grade plywood but not marine, it's unnecessary. Don't pay the extra money, because it's an extra $25 or $26 a sheet here, and I'd rather just put that into another sheet of standard 3/4 inch plywood straight edge. And considering I need a minimum of 14 sheets, and I'll need a couple for the inside floor, I figure I'm saving myself $27 a sheet. Yeah, that's my theory anyway. It's all about the money. I mean, if you got the money or you got support, that's great. I don't. As I said in my first video, I'm on a budget, and I've got to pace myself. I'm not used to doing that. I like getting things started, and I like to keep a pace and get things done. This project here is going to take a little more time than I like, but I'm learning how to be patient. I just do what I can when I can do it, and I just convince myself that it ain't going to be done tomorrow. And it's actually a lot easier. It's a lot easier to handle. I've heard people mention that on their videos, that if you get into a project and you feel like you're getting overloaded, and all of a sudden you wind back wondering if you should continue that project, you know, for the reason of just not continuing because it's too much, I heavily suggest to just slow down and give yourself a longer timeline for completion. And then the pressure's off, right? So that's what I'm doing with this build here. I'd like to see it done. I started it just before winter, so I don't have a tent up. I'll be erecting a tent type structure in the back of my yard to build the boat inside of, because I don't want to get it exposed to rain and stuff. I also suggest that you clear this too with the town you live in, to find out if you can put up a structure like that. It's going to be 2x4 framed with tarps laid over with, what do you call that? With barrier, plastic barrier. You would use in construction barrier plastic on the inside with tarps over the outside. It'll be all secured. It's going to probably sit there for the season, for sure, and probably through next winter. So I've cleared it with the town. I went to see what the rules are. If you can or you can't. It's amazing some things you can't do, and you would assume that you can do because it's your property. Well, it doesn't work that way. So the only thing against me is that I'm not allowed to make excessive noise between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And now I don't mean loud music. I mean just continuous loud noise. So I spoke to our local constable here. He actually pulled out the book and pointed out the fact that, yeah, you can build a boat if you want in your yard. I said, okay. It's just as long as you keep the noise down in between these hours, or else people will just complain. And of course, you know, you got those that love to complain. And when they get a complaint, it's mandatory. They have to answer the call. So they'll show up at the door and they'll tell you, hey, you're making too much noise. You got to stop making noise or stop what it is you're doing. And yeah, it's important to clear that with your locals. I noticed in Florida, a lot of people are building the smaller versions in their garage, which is great, and they have it on wheels and they pull it out into the driveway. and they're working on them out in the driveway. If you have an acreage, that's fantastic. You can do almost what you want out in an acreage. You have the space, and usually your neighbors are not 35 feet away. Over here, my neighbors are 27 feet away from me from both sides of my house, and they got much nicer houses, and one of them do like to make complaints, and I have to watch him. A newcomer to the neighborhood. I've been here 23 years, and I think they've been here 5, and I've been getting complaints about my dog barking excessively, and the other neighbor has dogs that bark too, so it has to be that newer neighbor, or whatever. So anyway, new people don't seem to talk to us old people. They're not, neighbors aren't what they used to be. They come in now, people, keep them themselves. There used to be a time where you'd step out of your house and you can say hi to 6 different people before you got to your car to the street. It ain't like that anymore. So anyway, I don't want to stray too off the point here. Yeah, check what your bylaw will allow you to do. I'll be erecting a tent to build this outside. I'll be taking some video of that. And we'll proceed from there. Yeah. So I hope this clears up a bit of the things that have been going on in my house while I'm building. I'm truly not a klutz. It's just I'm working with a very small space, and I'm trying to do the best I can, and I'm stepping over stuff. I've moved most of it out of the way, but it's still crowded in here. And usually when I need to use one machine, I have to take one machine out of the way, and I put it on this table that's in front of me. And I use it, then I remove it, bring another machine in if I need to do so, the drill press or something. And I use it. Okay, fantastic. I don't have much to do today. I just wanted to share this information with you about this first stand that I built. I think it's going to work out fine. I got a cross section on the leg down there, so it's holding it up very nicely. See that? So I'll be erecting them all like that outside. I got my triplane up there this morning. I got a few little things to do on it. Things that sit around for a particular amount of time start to need maintenance even though you haven't even used it yet. I don't know what happened, but I got a small little rip on the outside lower wingtip. The small one probably take about 1.5 inch patch and then camouflage it with the rest of the plane. And that's about it. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen in. I hope this video will clear some things up I'm doing here. And I hope I inspire those that don't think they can work in a small space. They can work in a small space. They certainly can. Okay, well, thank you very much. This is Dan again with the 30-foot Dory build. Plans by Jeff, Spira International. Check him out. He's got plans of all sizes. It's amazing. Alrighty, have a good day.